Hey guys, I hope you're doing great. Today I'd like to share with you a vision which I received about a week ago. I'm not sure what to call it a vision or something, but this one was about for people, for as a message, I believe, and that's the reason why I'm making this. And this vision was different because everything was very clear and very. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just going to start. I'm going to try my best to explain as much as I can, and then in the end I'm going to just dive into it, into some of the interpretation of it that God has brought to me throughout the week after leading up to this video. Alright, so first off is I was in this garden, but this garden was full of wheat, like golden, beautiful wheat, and this wheat was like gold. I can really say it was gold, but it was still organic in its form. In other words, it still moved the way that our plants move today. It wasn't solid. So I was there in this garden of wheat, and Jesus was there with me, and he took my hand and he walked with me through this field. And it's funny because as we were walking, it was like every plant was like moving out of the way by itself. We didn't have to push it out of the way. It's as if it was aware of us. It was quite a weird experience for me. And then he took me to this cliff, this cliff, and there's this shield. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's a shield between. So you can almost like a railing which prevents you from falling off this cliff, and I believe that shield was Holy Spirit. And as we were standing on this cliff and we were looking down, there's these dark black mountains, like a volcano almost, and there was even lava pouring over these mountains, and it was really dark and desolate. And I just thought in my head, just what is this? And Jesus replied by his mouth, and he told me, this is the lake of fire. And it was interesting because every time throughout this whole situation, I thought things, and he read my mind, and he replied me, and I don't know how else to explain it. And also what I saw then is Jesus looked at me with tears in his eyes, and he says, "Petey, look. There aren't many people here," and he's like really sad. But yeah, and then we walked. After that, you walked in another direction with me through this field again, and we came to this tree. And in my mind, I'm thinking, the first thing that popped into my mind is like the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and I thought, well, I wonder. And he's like, no, it's not that, Petey. This is the tree of life. And I've never actually read up on the tree of life. I don't know much about the tree of life, honestly, at that time. And I look at this massive tree. It's like massive, and there's leaves on, like green leaves, and these massive fruits. Like it's like strawberries, but massive. I don't know what it was. And then he said, "Petey, look at the fruits." And he's like, "These are the fruits of the saints, and they come to grow here." And he said, "Petey, my people think that their fruits don't matter, but their fruits make up the garden of heaven." Our fruits are our works, are what we do, and the fruits of our labors, you know. Okay, so then I'm just like, okay, well, this is like amazing. And then we walk on, and then he takes me to this other direction, and there's this city, and it's this, and I then realize that we're in the garden section of a bigger thing that's going on, and there's this whole city there, and this city is like full of amazing buildings that look like the most beautiful, like golden buildings I've ever seen, and there wasn't one lower class or whatever building. It was all kind of upper class, really mansion-like buildings, beautiful buildings, and it was going up this hill, and at the top of this hill there was this castle kind of building, like a king's castle that you could see in the movies, almost like that, but I wasn't permitted to make out the detail of that castle. I don't know why, I just knew it. Like, it was just a revelation. I just knew. I couldn't see I wasn't ready to see what it looked like yet. And then he said, PD, I've prepared a place for my people. As you can see, it's ready. But few will dine with me. See, that castle was where Jesus sits and lives. And he says, I've prepared a place for many people, but only a few will actually dine with me.